There are only 4 ways a human being can think about money. 4. That's it. Every person you've ever met, every billionaire, every broke relative, every co-worker quietly drowning in debt while smiling at their desk, is running one of just 4 mental programs. And here is the part that should disturb you. 3 of those 4 lead to the same place: struggle, dependence, a lifetime of almost. Only one of them builds wealth. So before this video ends, you're going to know exactly which of the 4 you're running right now. Not which one you think you're running, because almost everyone guesses wrong about themselves, but the real one. The one your behavior reveals when no one is watching. And I need to warn you about something now, before we begin. The most dangerous mindset of the 3 isn't the one you'd expect. It isn't the reckless spender. It isn't the broke survivor. The most dangerous one looks responsible. It looks mature. It's the one your parents praised you for. And it will keep you poor for the rest of your life while making you feel like you're doing everything right. We'll get to that one. But first, you need to understand why mindset, not income, not luck, not your job, is the thing that actually decides your financial life. Most people believe they have a money problem. They don't. They have a mindset problem wearing the costume of a money problem. Think about how you'd test that. Take someone who is broke, hand them a large sum of money, and watch what happens. Study after study. Lottery winner after lottery winner. Athlete after athlete. The money arrives, and within a few years it's gone. Not because the amount was too small. Because the operating system underneath was never upgraded. The money flowed into the same patterns that kept them broke before, and those patterns did what patterns always do. They repeated, now reverse it. Take someone with the right mindset and strip them down to nothing. Bankrupt them. Take the house, the accounts, the network. And what tends to happen? They climb back, sometimes higher than before, because the wealth was never really in the bank account. It was in the way they think. The account was just a reflection. This is the uncomfortable truth most financial advice refuses to say out loud. You don't rise above your money mindset, ever. You can earn more, you can get lucky, you can stumble into a windfall, but eventually your behavior drags your bank balance back to the level your mindset believes you deserve. The number always returns to the program. Machiavelli understood this centuries before anyone used the word psychology. He observed that men are rarely destroyed by their circumstances. They are destroyed by their nature, by the patterns they refuse to examine in themselves. He wrote that the prince who does not understand his own weaknesses will lose his state, no matter how strong his walls. And money works exactly the same way. Your habits are your walls. Your mindset is the gate, and most people leave the gate wide open without ever knowing it's there. So this isn't really a video about money. It's a video about the 4 programs running underneath every financial decision you make. 3 of them were installed in you before you were old enough to question them. By your family, your environment, your fear, your need to feel safe. And until you can see your own program clearly, you'll keep blaming your income for a problem your mind created. Let's expose all 4. Starting with the most common one on earth, the first mindset is the survivor. And if you've ever felt money slipping through your fingers no matter how hard you work, listen closely, because this one is the most seductive trap of all. The survivor sees money as a tool for one thing only: getting through the month. Their entire financial world is the next 30 days. Rent is coming. Bills are coming. The card is almost maxed. And every decision, every single one, is made under the quiet hum of pressure. They are not building, they are bracing. Here's how you recognize a survivor. They don't ask, how do I grow this? They ask, how do I make it stop hurting right now? When stress rises, they spend a small treat, a quick escape, something to relieve the pressure for an hour. They're not foolish. They're exhausted. And exhausted people don't think in decades. They think in hours. The system around them feeds on exactly this. The ads, the buy now, pay later buttons, the you deserve a break messaging. None of it is random. It's engineered to find people running on survival and to convert their stress into transactions. Every time the survivor reaches for relief, someone else collects. And here is the cruelest part. Working harder doesn't free the survivor. It often traps them deeper, because more income under a survival mindset doesn't become wealth. It becomes a bigger life to survive. A nicer apartment to barely afford. A better car with a heavier payment. The pressure scales perfectly with the paycheck. They run faster, and the floor speeds up underneath them. Look at how many high earners are secretly survivors. People pulling in serious money who couldn't last 2 months without a paycheck. The income changed. The mindset never did. They simply learned to drown in deeper water. Machiavelli warned about this directly. He said that people are so quick to satisfy their immediate needs that they become easy to control. The man who is always reacting to today can be ruled by anyone who controls tomorrow, and the survivor lives entirely in today. That's not security. That's a leash with a comfortable collar. Now, the survivor is not a life sentence. Every wealthy person you admire was once here, but they didn't escape by earning more. They escaped by changing the question. They stopped asking, "How do I get through this month?" and started asking, "How do I build something that survives without me?" That single shift is the first crack in the wall. So before we move on, be honest with yourself for a second. Don't think about your income. Think about your decisions. When money gets tight, do you brace or do you plan? Do you react or do you direct? Hold that answer in your mind, one word. Because awareness is the first thing the survivor never has. But the survivor isn't the trap I warned you about. There's a mindset that looks like the opposite of survival, that looks like success itself, and it ruins more people with potential than anything else. That's next. The second mindset is the performer. And this one is dangerous precisely because it looks like winning. The performer doesn't see money as survival. They see money as a signal. To them, wealth isn't something you build, it's something you broadcast. The car, the watch, the dinners, the vacations carefully photographed. Their financial life is a performance, and the audience is everyone they're quietly trying to impress. Here's the tell. The performer spends to be seen. Every purchase carries a hidden second question underneath it. What will this say about me? They don't buy the apartment that makes sense. They buy the one in the neighborhood that sounds impressive. They don't buy transport. They buy a statement with wheels. And they finance all of it, because the image has to arrive before the money does. This is the great middle-class trap. There's an entire layer of society that looks wealthy and owns almost nothing. New cars on loans, designer clothes on credit, a lifestyle held together by minimum payments. They are not rich. They are renting the appearance of rich, and the rent is brutal. Pause. Contrast that with how the actually wealthy behave. Picture a real millionaire. Now erase the image your mind just produced. The flash, the logos, the noise, because in real life, they're often invisible. Simple clothes. An older car they never replaced because it still runs. You'd walk past them in line and never know. That isn't an accident. That's positioning. Machiavelli understood the difference between appearing strong and being strong. He taught that a wise ruler conceals his true strength and reveals only what serves him. The performer does the opposite. They reveal everything and possess little. They mistake the appearance of power for power itself. And in finance, that mistake is fatal, because every dollar spent on looking rich is a dollar that can never make you rich. Appearance and ownership pull from the same account. There's a reason the wealthy go quiet. Visibility invites pressure. The moment people expect you to spend, you feel forced to. The moment you announce your success, you've handed others away to compete with you, lean on you, resent you. So the strong stay still. They let their money grow in the dark while everyone else competes to look impressive in the light. The performer is trapped in a race that has no finish line. There's always a nicer car, a better address, a more impressive vacation. They will spend their entire lives one upgrade away from feeling like enough, and they will arrive at 50 with a closet full of evidence and an empty foundation. Pause. So ask yourself honestly, when you spend, who are you really spending for? Yourself or an audience? Your future or your image? Sit with that, because the performer never does. Now, the survivor reacts. The performer pretends. Surely the opposite of both. The careful one, the responsible one, the saver, must be the winner. That's what everyone believes. And that belief is exactly why the third mindset is the most dangerous of all. The third mindset is the saver, and this is the trap I warned you about at the very start. The one that looks like wisdom while it quietly keeps you poor. The saver did everything they were told. Spend less than you earn. Avoid debt. Build a cushion. Stay safe. And on the surface, that sounds like the answer. Compared to the survivor and the performer, the saver looks like the adult in the room. Disciplined. Responsible. the kind of person your parents wanted you to become. But here's the truth, almost no one says. Saving protects you from disaster. It does not make you wealthy. Those are two completely different games, and the saver has confused one for the other. Watch what actually happens. The saver puts money in the bank and feels the quiet pride of the growing number. But while that money sits still, the world keeps moving. Inflation eats it from the inside, silently, every single year. The cost of housing rises. The cost of food rises. The cost of opportunity rises. 10 years later, the number in the account is bigger, and the real power behind it is smaller. They didn't grow their wealth. They preserved it while it shrank. Pause. The saver's true enemy isn't spending. It's fear. They cling to cash because cash feels safe, and risk feels like recklessness. So they never invest seriously. They never own anything that grows. They watch opportunities pass and tell themselves they're being responsible. But there's a difference between caution and paralysis. And the saver has mistaken one for the other for so long they can't tell them apart anymore. This is the most heartbreaking mindset of the three, because the saver has the discipline that wealth requires and points it in the wrong direction. They have the engine. They've aimed it at standing still. Machiavelli was ruthless about this. He said fortune favors the bold, not the reckless, but those willing to act while others hesitate. He observed that the cautious man who waits for perfect safety is overtaken by the one who moves decisively under uncertainty. Because here is the secret the saver never accepts. There is no certainty coming. Uncertainty existed yesterday, it exists today, and it will exist on every future date that currently feels safer. The saver waits for a green light that the world will never give. Compare two people earning the exact same income. One saves diligently in a bank account for 30 years. The other takes that same discipline and directs it into ownership, assets, equity, things that compound. Same income, same discipline, same starting line. 3 decades later, the gap between them isn't small. It's a different universe. Not because one earned more, because one understood that money sitting still is money slowly dying, and money in motion is money compounding. Pause. So here's the hard question for the disciplined ones watching. Is your money working, or is it just hiding? Are you growing it or guarding it while it quietly loses value? Because feeling responsible and being free are not the same thing, and the saver spends a lifetime confusing the two. The survivor reacts to today. The performer performs for others. The saver hides from risk. All three feel completely different from the inside, but they share one fatal trait. And once you see it, the fourth mindset becomes obvious. That's where everything changes. Stop for a moment, because this is the hinge the entire video turns on. The survivor, the performer, and the saver look like 3 different people. But underneath, they're running the same broken instruction. All 3 see money as something that happens to them. The survivor reacts to money. The performer displays money. The saver guards money. But not one of them commands money. In every version, the money is the subject, and the person is the object. Life acts, and they respond. The paycheck arrives, and they scramble or spend or stash. They are downstream of their own finances forever. That's the shared prison. 3 different cells, 1 prison. And it's invisible from the inside, because each of the 3 is convinced the other 2 are the problem. The saver looks down on the performer. The performer pities the survivor. The survivor envies them both. They spend their lives comparing cells, never realizing they're all locked in the same building. Pause. The fourth mindset doesn't live in that building at all. It doesn't react, perform, or hide. It does something the other 3 never even attempt. It takes control of the machine itself. And once you understand how it thinks, you'll never be able to see money the same way again. The fourth mindset is the owner. And this is the only one of the 4 that builds real wealth, not because the owner works harder, but because they're playing an entirely different game. The owner doesn't see money as something to survive, display, or hoard. They see money as a tool, specifically a tool for one purpose: acquiring control. The owner asks a question the other 3 never ask. Not how do I earn more? Not how do I look successful? Not how do I stay safe? The owner asks, what can I own that produces value even when I'm not there? That single question rewires everything. Because labor creates income, but ownership creates leverage. The worker trades hours for money and runs out of hours. The owner builds systems that earn while they sleep. One is bound by time. The other escapes it. Look at how the wealthy actually built their fortunes. Rockefeller didn't get rich as a hard-working clerk. He got rich owning the infrastructure others depended on. Vanderbilt didn't hoard his cash in fear. When markets crashed and everyone else panicked, he treated his capital as ammunition and bought assets at a fraction of their worth. The patterns differ, but the mindset is identical. They didn't participate in the machine. They acquired it. Pause. The owner understands leverage in a way the saver never will. Not the leverage of consumer debt. That's the performer's poison. Real leverage. The ability to produce results larger than your own effort. A business that earns through other people's work. A product built once and sold 1,000 times. A piece of content that keeps working for years after the effort ended. The owner is obsessed with one idea, detaching reward from effort, so that the past version of them keeps paying the future version, and the owner thinks in